Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be day 4 working on the Comet GT Clone. Power steering frustrations continue. Got the old pump out of there, and I got the line unscrewed from it. And then I opened up the new power steering pump, and it's a different fitting. Fitting on the car screws over onto these threads, and it goes inside there. This one needs the reverse. So I need a different power steering hose, or I need an adapter to adapt that fitting to the reverse of that. And the problem is there may not be enough room, like behind that pump, to fit an adapter in there. So this is really tight. It fit like right down in here. An adapter is going to push that more rearward. I don't know if that's possible. Now, I could get the correct power steering line in about 4 days. Today is Wednesday, and it looks like the soonest I can get one is Monday. And that really throws a monkey wrench into the works. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do here. I don't know if you can see or notice the problem with changing that line. You can't get to it. Goes up, and it's down underneath the power brake system. Let me move this out of the way. I still need to fix this bottle reservoir. But you got to take this big bracket off of here. It goes around the booster and the shock tower to the firewall. And then, even then, there's just like no room down there to get to those lines. I mean, you can see them. You can reach down and touch them. But to get wrenches on them, loosen them, and then put the new line on, I went through it already because I put the power steering on this car. And I'm not looking forward to doing that again. So what I'm going to try to do is go up to the auto parts store, see if I can get an adapter fitting, and then find out if it's going to fit or not. If it doesn't fit, then I need to order a line, wait 4 days or however long it takes, and take all this apart. It's frustrating, very frustrating. The problem, issue, what have you, is that I can't just hold the power steering pump in here and determine if that's going to work or not, because I don't know where the exact position is. The only way to know the exact position is to mount it on that bracket and put the bracket back in there. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I don't have any other choices. Nope, can't think of another choice. Oh boy. Alright, a little bit of an update here. I decided it's going to be coffee and cookie time. What I did, what the heck did I just do? Scrambling. Checked Amazon, checked eBay, checked O'Reilly's, then I remembered, well, I checked Walmart too. I remembered that I get a lot of good fast shipping from Jegs. Usually you order today, you get it tomorrow. So I call them. They don't have it in stock. Now some is a gamble because they have different warehouses. And if it's in the Ohio warehouse, then I would get it the next day. If I call them, of course the part is in Georgia, but they have me a guarantee I'll have it Friday. So I'm going to take a little coffee break because I don't have to scramble as much right now. Does mean I'm going to have to take all this apart in here to get that hose out. But the fitting idea just wasn't going to work out. It was too long. And yeah. Anyways, after my break, I'll let you know what I'm going to be doing. While I was drinking my coffee here, I thought I'd maybe put this parking light in next. Now remember I JB welded this, and I had it with this bracket on here. And then last night, before I went in for the day, I picked it up, looked at it, set it back down over there. What I didn't realize is that when I first set it down, after I glued it, I had the bracket kind of resting up against something like that to hold it in position. And then last night when I picked it up, looked at it, set it down, I didn't have it resting on whatever it was resting on, and it shifted. So now this thing is on an angle. Murphy got me again. This time it's hardened. So I'm going to have to cut that JB weld off of there. Probably have to grind stuff down and then re-glue this for the third time. Hopefully straight. What I might do this next time is put the nuts on these studs to clamp it to the bracket, which is going to hold it exactly where it needs to be. And maybe I'll even take this in the house and put it in the basement where I'm not going to touch it because I screwed it up. But, Murphy makes sure that I do screw things up, so now I get to fix it again. All right, I'm down in my basement, my hobby room. I got my coffee, got some cookies, got the parts, JB weld, saw, file. I got other tools here ready. I cut that off. Now in order to get this to go on there straight where it needs to be, I gotta grind all this stuff down or cut that off. I think I'll just get a Dremel and grind at that. Just kind of assemble this with the nuts, glue it, let her dry. It's the way I should have done it the first time, first place. Get it all in position the way it fits in the car with the bracket. The bracket's going to hold that. And if I can be smart enough to walk away until tomorrow, then that's going to harden up just fine. So that's the plan. Come back tomorrow and It should be great. I think I'm going to start by removing the, start by turning that music off. Start by removing this brace. Still need to patch that reservoir. And what? Got to figure out what I'm going to use to patch it with. JB weld, yes, but I'm going to find something to put on that hole. This is going to be, looks like 9/16. I don't remember if those have nuts underneath there or if they're like cage nuts that are welded to the, I'll find out soon enough. Let's see what size those are. Same size. Uh-oh. This fluid reservoir kept leaking every time I moved it, so I just drained it into cups. And look what I found. That piece got knocked out. It was inside there. It took a while, but I fished it out. Now to get it to go in there, I'm gonna have to JB weld it. But I'm gonna take and glue like a toothpick to it, so I have a handle to hold it, and so it doesn't drop in there again. And the way that it's broke, I may have to like stick it through the hole, move it, and then pull it up. I don't know. But first step is to get something glued to that. I'm going to use 5-minute epoxy. It's clear. It'll look better on that reservoir than black JB weld. And I'm going to give that a shot. I already mixed up a tiny bit. I put a toothpick in it. And I have it glued to that other piece, and when it hardens up, I'll see if it's going to work. I'm afraid I'm just going to have to take that valve cover off because I can't get my arm down in there. I can reach down and touch it, but there's no way I can hold a wrench and get the nut off. All right, I succeeded. I got that line off there. That wasn't fun. I'm glad I don't have to revisit that for a couple days. Putting a new one on isn't going to be fun either, because on those fittings, you have to get the tube. Let me bring it over here so you can see what the heck I'm pointing at. You got to get the tube to go in the hole, and this nut has to thread in. But if there's any misalignment, that nut's not going to go in there. And this bend may have to be tweaked on a new line. It's going to be a fight. I know it's coming. But I'm going to let this line drain over here, and because the line itself is still good. And I put I don't know how many of these power steering units in cars, 3 of them, maybe more. And that line just might come in handy in another car. But the valve cover bolts, there's only 6 of them. But the one in the back bottom is hard to get to. It's a long reach from the front of the car. Can't really reach down in the side of the car. I'm too short unless I stand on something. And I hear you. Stop complaining. All right. I'm going to take a break and go get something to eat. I'm going to take a peek at the windshield washer reservoir piece here. I have it glued to a toothpick. Stuck a toothpick through that little cup to hold the toothpick straight. Feels like it's pretty strong. Now I'm going to test fit before I glue it. Looks like the glue just didn't stick to the plastic. Came clean off. It's on a toothpick. I even scraped the center of that, before I glued it. I might have to sand blade on this and get it to fit in that hole. I'm going to try super glue this time. Got the glue and I got the accelerator. Toothpick is glued to plastic. I'm going to let it cure for a couple minutes. I can try super gluing it in. Another thing would be like clear silicone. Let me see if I have some. I do have this adhesive caulk. It's white. I think that'll look better on there than black GB weld. Let me give this a try. Alright, I got it so it'll just fit in there. I just had to carve on the edges, get it good. Now I need to put a thin layer adhesive caulk. Alright, I got that in position. I kind of like the way it is. I am going to set this aside and let that harden up. You guys are probably wondering why I took the time to fix that thing. I did go on eBay and looked online trying to find one because I have the part number. They're $100 to $200 and they're used. So I'm going to try to fix that thing first. Alright, next will be cleaning up those brackets. I want to get a lot of that loose paint off there before I put it in the sandblaster and blast the rust. because these paint chips could clog up the suction tube on my sandblaster. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself a real nasty wire brush and rip that paint off. I have a paint stripper disc, and I got this real gnarly cup brush. Since the stripper disc is on the grinder, I'm going to try that first. Wow, well, that thing's working great. All right, that did a fantastic job. Can't get in the backside, but I can stick this in the sandblaster because I want to get any rust that's embedded in there. And this thing came out pretty dang good too. Got an area right in the center there where I can't get the disc in, but sandblaster will take care of that. After I get these things blasted, I just need to prime them and paint them. I have the back side of that cleaned out, scraped out, degreased. Now I'm going to put these in the blasting cabinet and get them done. Okay, parts are all blasted up. Inside, outside, top, bottom, every angle. Great. I'm going to get some brake clean, scrub them up real good, and prime them, paint them. I have the parts painted. They're hanging and drying in my paint booth. I got heat gun blowing on it. There's my paint booth. Works just fine. I'll let them dry and give them another coat. While they're drying, I'm going to give the bolts heads a coat of paint. I'm using engine enamel, 500 degrees, gas oil resistant, semi-gloss black. Okay, that's good for one coat. Let that cure. Maybe I'll put it by the paint booth, and after it dries, I'll put on some more. While those parts bake over there with the heat gun, I'm going to start working on the chin spoiler. I'm going to give that a quick sand just to knock the nibs out, and then get the Raptor liner mixed up and roll it on. Okay, the mix on this is 3 parts to 1 part. So what I'm going to do, I'm put it in that container. I'm going to use 3 of these little scoops. They're 1/4 cup scoops. I don't know if that's going to be too much, not enough. Going to find out. I've been shaking this for a while. This is an unopened can. And open it up. And you got to percolate that top part, because this is made to be sprayed out of this can, but I'm not going to spray it. I'm going to do 3 of these little cup things. Got paint stir sticks here. All right, so we need 1 of these with hardener, just like that. And I stir that up real good. And then roll it on. I mixed that up for a long time. Just gonna have to go for it here. Get this out of the way. It looks like I mixed up twice as much as I needed. It says to roll it, roll mixed Raptor into a tray and apply with a roller. Allow to dry 60 minutes before recoating using a new Raptor roller. I don't have a new Raptor roller. I don't even have a Raptor roller. I got a latex wall paint roller. Remember when I cleaned out my spray gun after letting the clear coat in there overnight? I saved all that lacquer thinner. It came to good use. I put some in this green tray. Got that roller cleaned up, ready to go. So in an hour, I'll put on another coat. Okay, chin spoiler came out good. And with that, I'm going to say this is the end of day 4 working on the 71 Comet GT Clone. Thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage. It was only a half frustrating day. The power steering portion was frustrating with the line, but the brackets came out good. And chin spoiler came out good. So thanks for watching Dan's Messy Garage, and come back for day 5. Bye.